Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video let's take a look at the 8th game of 2018 Carlsen Caruana match. As you know, all previous 7 games have ended up in a draw, and now let's see what happened in round 8. In round 8, Caruana was playing with white pieces and he opened up the game with e4. Carlsen responded with his usual Sicilian defense, Nf3 Nc6, and d4. Caruana delivered a surprise. Before this, in all their previous encounters during this match, Caruana was choosing Nezhmedinov Rosolimo attack, but this time he went for d4. Previously, everyone was wondering what's going to be Carlsen's response to d4, and after c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, Carlsen gave the answer and he responded with e5, Sveshnikov variation. The opening was popularized by Russian Grandmaster Yevgeny Sveshnikov. The move e5 seems anti-positional as it leaves black with a backwards d-pawn and a weakness on d5. However, in return, black gains time for a quick development, knight b5, d6 and knight d5. This is the only worthy alternative to the main lines. The main move is bishop g5, after which black is responding with a6, and then after knight a3, b5. Here white can either play knight d5 straight away or can capture on f6 and then knight d5. These are lines which are full of complex variations, but in our game after d6 we have knight d5. White abandons the idea of fighting for d5 square and also doesn't hope for an opening advantage as well. Instead, white hopes to outplay his opponent in a complicated double-edged middle game. Knight takes d5 was played, e takes d5 and knight b8. After playing knight d7, the knight can both fight against white's c4 c5 advancement and at the same time can be effectively included into black's own play on the opposite wing. Here the most popular move for white is c4, but in this position Caruana went for a4, bishop e7, bishop e2. We see castling by both sides, knight d7, bishop d2, and as black has a pawn majority on the king side, is trying to make use of it. f5 is on the board. In return we see a5, a6, black is kicking away the knight from this active square but is creating a hold on b6, e4, knight c4, knight e5, and the knight finds its outpost on b6, rook b8, f4, it takes f3, bishop takes f3, and a very aggressive move by Carlsen, g5. This is a very risky move which is exposing black king, and at the same time, with this move, black is revealing his aggressive intentions and demonstrates that he doesn't want a boring draw. c4 by Caruana. In return, he's starting an advancement on the queen side, f4, bishop c3, bishop f5, and c5. Now comes knight takes f3 check, queen takes f3, d takes c5, and rook d1. Of course, placing the rook on the open e file and then challenging black's pawn structure could give white better chances, but in the game we have rook d1, bishop d6, and h3. A very passive move by Caruana. Instead of h3, queen h5 looks very ambitious. If queen e8, then white can capture on g5, and then after the exchange of queens, white can play knight c4. If rook d8, then after knight takes d6, rook takes d6, bishop e5, rook d7, bishop takes f4. If we have a look at the position, white has an extra pawn, and although the players have opposite color bishops, white can still hope for a win. But after bishop d6 we have h3, which completely allows black to equalize the game. Queen e8, black is not allowing any possible intrusion, knight c4, queen g6, knight takes d6, queen takes d6, h4, g takes h4, queen takes f4, and after the exchange of queens it becomes obvious that already in this endgame there is not much the players can do. Rook e1, bishop g4, rook f6, we see the exchange of first pair of rooks on f6 square, king f7, bishop takes h4, rook e8, rook f1 check, king g8, rook f6, rook e2. In return, black rook is penetrating white's camp, king f8, d6, rook d2, and after rook g5 the players agreed to a draw. You are capturing my pawn, I'm capturing your pawn, and this is a dead draw. There is not much the players can do. That's why after rook g5 the players agreed to a draw. A pretty interesting game, I think. Carlsen's g5 actually looked very promising, and everyone was hoping that for the first time in this match we will see a whole point. But with this rook d1 and then h3, Caruana missed his chance to seize the initiative, and in the end again we have a draw on the board. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.